Waltzing with Brando came about in a very curious manner. I had worked with the writer-director Bill Fishman years ago in the 90s on a project called Posse that he produced, and which was a kind of a Western about the Buffalo Soldiers, and was more of a allegory and more, I guess, metaphor for what just had happened, which was the Rodney King beating. And it's a really good film. And they just did a really nice article about it. I can't remember if it was in Variety or if it was in Vanity Fair. They explored it on a slightly deeper level in retrospect and gave it the credit it deserved. And I was, it was a gentleman, a mutual friend of he and I, was on the phone apparently to Bill and said, well, Billy's right here, he should play Brando. And I heard the words, and I was, what? Who are you talking to? And it was Bill Fishman, who I hadn't spoken to in 15 years. And he said, Bill's doing a Brando film. I said, really? You know, I guess it's about time to do a Brando movie. But I'm really interested, I told him, in the Tahiti period. Ever since I saw footage of Marlon dancing on French television in black and white. In a studio, they recreated a Tahitian ritual or dance, and I thought it was so charming. He looked so happy. And he goes, well, that's the period I'm focusing on this film. And we found that kind of ironic, and we decided to meet and dig in, and we decided to co-produce the project, and we worked on the script a bit more, and then I found the financing, and we were off to the races. The story is unique in that it's not your average cradle-to-grave biopic. It celebrates a 5-year period of the man's life, and a slice that is not as well known, which was him as a activist, where he certainly walked the walk for indigenous rights and civil rights, but the little-known fact that he was quite possibly the godfather of the environmentalist movement, which was totally random. But the film focuses upon his relationship with his architect, played by John Heder, of Napoleon Dynamite fame and Blades of Glory, a wonderful actor, whom plays Bernard Judge, who wrote these memoirs about his 5-year period trying to craft this then quite imperfect science around sustainability and about their unique friendship trying to bring power and water to his island in Tahiti without using fossil fuels, you know, and hijinks ensue, and it's a funny and charming slice of probably the happiest period in Marlon's life as we know it, that his family seemed to really love, and those who worked with him really appreciate this kind of interesting reclaiming of his legacy and glimpse at his humor and his joy and passion for equanimity and humanity. And that's really what it's a love letter to, his passion, which is kind of an interesting way to tell a story of someone, is to focus on what presumably they love, as opposed to the events that might make up a very linear timeline of a life.